There are a lot of animal species that use cavities in trees as their nests and for protection. They depend on them for their livelihood, and without them, the species would not be able to survive. That is why I'm doing my presentation on the article from the Northern Journal called Tree Cavity Resources for Dependent Cavity Using Wildlife in West Virginia Forests. The introduction to this paper gives a brief overview of the importance of cavities in trees for cavity-dependent animals, and it covers where the study area was. The study was conducted in the Potomac and Greenboro Ranger districts of the Monongahela National Forest in Pendleton, Pocahontas, and Randolph counties, West Virginia. This was in a separate section that explained how far away the area was from geographic landmarks and explained the elevation of the areas. Overall, a great starting introduction section. Then we go into the methods section, where the author explains what they did to perform the experiment. They used only certain types of trees in the experiment to prevent species overlap and put them in 3 different categories. In the central hardwood category, they used white oak, black oak, and northern red oak. In northern hardwood, they used black cherry and maple trees. Lastly, in the subalpine forest type, they used red spruce and yellow birch trees. Since cavities only really showed up mature stands, they only observed tree stands that were over 9 years old. They selected 25 plots in 20 different compartments of the National Forest. They were 75 in total, and they were 250 meters apart to have independent sampling. They estimated overstory, understory, and shrub cover for the area. They recorded the DBH and height of each tree with a cavity, and they also categorized each tree 1 to 7 on how decayed it was, 1 being the healthiest. For DBH, they did not go below 10 centimeters, with the smallest being 10.5 centimeters. So the species, DBH, decay class, height, presence of damage, number of cavities, and cavity origin, excavated and non-excavated, were recorded for every cavity tree. Analysis of covariance were used to find differences in tree cavity abundances among forest cover types for all cavities and for excavated cavities only. The author did a great job explaining what was needed for a good method section. Next, we have the results section. This might just be the most important part of a research article, since it tells all the completed work from the experiment and the ending results. A total of 912 cavities was found in 707 cavity trees greater than 10 centimeters DBH. Of the 707 cavity trees, 249 trees contained cavities excavated by woodpeckers. More than 25 tree species were tallied in cavity tree counts and prison counts. Approximately half of these were commonly encountered. 75 plots were established among 48 forest stands in 16 compartments of the Monongahela National Forest. Forest stands range in area from 2.83 hectares to 50.18 hectares. The oldest stand age was 188 years old, while 78% of the stands are 90 to 110 years old. The mean age of the red spruce yellow birch tree stands were significantly older than the black cherry maple and the white oak, black oak, and northern red oak tree stands. However, no differences in mean basal areas or stems per plot were detected among the forest cover types. Red spruce accounted for 50.3% of the mean plot basal area, while yellow birch comprised of 24.5% of the red spruce yellow birch plots. Other common tree species on the red spruce yellow birch plots included American beech, black cherry, eastern hemlock, and red maple. Black cherry, sugar maple, and red maple compose approximately 65% of the basal area of the black cherry and maple plots. Black cherry was the most common tallied tree. Northern red oak occupied 30.9% of the white oak, black oak, and northern red oak basal area, and 22.1% of the mean stem count per plot. When it comes to cavities, American beech and sugar maple accounted for more than other species, which was 15.84% and 15.13% of the total trees tallied. Together with yellow birch, red maple, black locust, chestnut oak, and northern red oak, these species accounted for 75% of all cavities found. American beech, black locust, sugar maple, and yellow birch trees accounted for 60% of all excavated cavities. Relative cavity occurrence was not equal among tree species. Black locust, followed by American beech, were significantly more likely to have cavities than stems of all other species. Conversely, northern red oak, black cherry, and red spruce were least likely to have cavities. All in all, this is a well put together results section covering everything and not missing any details. Lastly, there is the discussion section. This section is just a summary of all the information that was studied and put together in one section. Differences in cavity abundance among the red spruce, yellow birch, black cherry, and maple, and white oak, black oak, northern red oak forest cover types were not due to differences in stand ages, basal area, or number of standing stems. They also estimated that they only covered around 80% of the total cavities, since they only used binoculars to find them, and sometimes there were branches in the way. Woodpecker excavations did not account for differences in cavity abundances among the forest cover type study. Among the oak species combined, only 20.5% of all cavities were excavated. Similarly, among black cherry, and the maples combined. Only 25.6% of all cavities were excavated. However, 76.2% of red spruce cavities and 45.8% of yellow birch cavities were excavated. Cavities formed by wood decay were predominant within white oak, black oak, and northern red oak, and the black cherry maple forest types, thus accounting for differences in cavity abundance among the forest cover types. Additionally, cavities initiated by decay tend to be in larger diameter trees within the plots. Chestnut oak had the highest cavity tree rate of all oak species, yet cavity tree likelihood was not significantly different from black oak. Since most of them seem to be hit by fire at some point in the tree's lives, it seemed to make cavities become more present. Chestnut oak also was the oak species most likely to be excavated. However, most block trees of all oak species appeared undamaged. Caution should be used when assessing the value of American beech as a cavity tree resource. Usually when beech bark disease infects the forest for the first time, a high proportion of large mature trees are killed. It is likely that many of the large beech cavity snags present in the Monongahela National Forest were a direct result of the beech bark disease, and woodpeckers excavated many of these snags. So, the mature trees are replaced by the younger ones, which are inadequate for cavities. This discussion section was put together in a way that captivated me and did not miss any details. Overall, this is a great read and a good research article.